Happy Tuesday, everyone. Mr. Saturn here. And today, I don't have Micaiah with me, but I brought Honey instead. This is our dog. Her name is Honey. My wife cut her hair the other day, and it looks as if she shaved one of her eyebrows basically off, and yet this one remains intact. So that is not the best look. But in her defense, Honey was not being a very good participant in this. She was trying to bite the clippers the entire time, which does not help out. So anyway, today you have first period at 9:30, and then you have second period at 11. Our check-ins today: Braden at 10:30, Dayton at 1 o'clock, Logan at 1:30, and Jeremiah at 2 o'clock. Again, if those do not work for you, just make sure you contact me prior to them to let me know. All right. For math today, we are doing something that we did earlier this year. We did it for about a week, so this is going to kind of just bring it back to memory, but we're going to be dealing with fractions and decimals and percentages. Now remember, a fraction is anything. Looks like that. Your top number is a numerator, your bottom number is a denominator. Percentage looks like this, and then a decimal looks like that. All right, that is the difference. And I'm going to add a video to the end of this to show you how to do it all again, how to convert fractions to decimals and decimals to percentages and all that stuff. If you have any questions whatsoever, just call me or whatever today, and I'll get this out with you, and we can get on Google Meets, and I can help you out with the worksheet, okay? So that's what is for math. For reading, you're going to Epic Reading yet again to read for half an hour. I've been looking at your guys' times. You're doing a really good job on that. And then for writing today, I put a couple questions, I think 5 different questions, just about you, kind of a getting to know you kind of deal. But it pertains more to school. So the reason I do this is something I was going to have all my 8th graders do as they get ready for high school. So it's a letter that you'll answer these questions, and then over the course of the next couple of weeks, we'll be converting it into a letter, and it'll be a letter that you give to your new teachers when you get to high school, just so they know something about you, they know how to help you out academically. And I think it's just going to work really well. But I figured, let's just have everyone do it. And I don't think it would be a bad thing for anyone to do, or something even you 6th and 7th graders you can give to your general education teachers next year, just so they can best help you out and know how you learn best. Oh, Honey's falling. Got her. So that's what we're doing for writing. So let me know if you have any questions. Again, I will put the fractions, decimals, and percentages how to right after this, so keep watching. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right, so for the first one, it says convert a decimal to a percent. So it gives us 1.25. So what we need to remember with our place value is everything matters is it matters where that decimal is at. So anything to the left of the decimal, this is the 100 spot. The first number to the right of the decimal, this is the 10 spot. And the second number, 1, 2, to the right of the decimal is the 1 spot. So when we have 1.25, that would be the same as 125 when we're putting that to a percentage. So this first one would be 125%. That would be your answer. And I have found out that baby wipes work very good when it comes to cleaning whiteboards. Something you figure out when you start teaching at home. So let's just do this second one here for fun. So it's 0.376. So again, there's a 100 spot. Here is the 10 spot, the 1 spot, and now this would be like the 10th spot. So this one's confusing. So you're like, what would this even be? So when we're making this into a percent, there's no 100, so this would be 37. And then we would just use a decimal. We'd go 0.6%. All right? So that's converting a decimal to a percent. Our next section says convert a percent to a decimal. So now we're just doing the reverse of what we just did. So it starts us off with 57%. All right, and so there's no 100 here, so I know I'm going to have a 0 to the left of my decimal. Well, maybe this baby stuff doesn't work too well if it's too wet. All right, so now we have that. So we have a 0 to the left of the decimal. Now, in our 10 spot, we would have our 5. And in our 1 spot, we would have our 7. So 0.57 would be our answer. All right, on second thought, a towel might work much better than baby wipes. Again, we're all learning together. All right, let's do that second one again. Convert percent to a decimal. So it's 77.8%. Again, there's no 100 here. It's just 77, so we know we're going to have a 0 to the left of our decimal. And then it's just going to be in our 10 spot, we have a 7, 77. So in the 10 spot is our 7. And then in our 1 spot is our other 7, 77. And then we would just put our 8 right there. Easy peasy. That's how we do it. All right, next section. Convert decimal to a fraction. This one is actually really easy, okay? So anytime we are doing anything converting it to a fraction, our decimal, remember, when we have a fraction, our top number is our numerator, and our bottom number is our denominator. All right, so that's how that goes. So when we are converting anything to a fraction, our denominator right here is always going to be 100. That's how we are always going to do it. So this number, the 1 is in the 100 spot, the 3 is in the 10 spot, and the other 3 is in the 1 spot. So this, as a number, 1.33 is 133. So our fraction here would be 133 over 100. Let's do another one. Next one on there. 0.62. All right. We know that our denominator is going to be 100. Now for this one, there's no number. It's a 0 in the 100 spot. So it's just going to be 62 over 100. Easy peasy. All right, so next section is convert a fraction to a decimal. So we have 12 over 10. You can use a calculator on this. Totally fine, we did this in class. All you would put in your calculator, remember, this is a division problem basically. All you would put in your calculator is 12 divided by 10. So once you put that in, you should get 1.2 in your calculator, and that would be your answer. All right? So 12 over 10, you just go numerator, which is the top number, divided by denominator, which is the bottom number, and whatever comes up, that would be your decimal. So that is converting fractions to decimals. Next section, convert a fraction to a percent. Again, you can use your calculators on this. So we have 1 over 8. So you would put that in your calculator as 1 divided by 8. And I believe you would get some number like 16.6 7777777. I might need to get a calculator just to make sure that this is in fact the case. So we would go 1 divided by 8 equals, oh, I was way off. My bad. It's 0.125 is our answer. I feel like a fool now. 0.125. But here's the deal. That's a decimal, and it wants us to convert a fraction to a percent. So I have my decimal there. So what I need to do is I need to convert my decimal to a percent. Again, so this is my 10 spot. This is my 1 spot. 10, 1, and this is my 10th spot. So my percentage in this case would be 12.5%. Got that? Let's do another one. That wasn't extremely clear here, so we'll do another one. All right. So 9 over 16. All right, I'm going to get my calculator out. Go 9 divided by 16, which equals 0.5625. Oh my goodness. That's a big number. 0.5625. But I got to make this into a percent. So basically what I'll do is I'll just take my decimal and I'll shift it 2 to the right. 1, 2. And I'll put it right there. So I would have 56.25%. And the last section here is actually really easy, probably the easiest section of all. So it says convert a percent to a fraction. Again, whenever we're converting anything to a fraction here, our decimal is always going to be 100. There you go. And so our first one is 177%. You want to know how easy this one is? Here you go. Take that number and put it on top. 177 over 100, and there is your fraction. That is converting a percentage to a fraction. I will just give you one more just to humor you. So we'll actually do a tougher one here. So 38.8% is the next one. How do I make that into a fraction? Well, I actually just go 38.8 over 100. And that's that. All right. Give me a call. Shoot me an email if you need help with this, and I will walk through it all with y'all